Well, we're just watching the end of the warm-up here. First 4 gymnasts warm up and then compete. So they're allowed a 50-second warm-up actually on the bars, but that has to include the time it takes to adjust the tension. There's a special tension gauge. You see the coach there on the chains checking the tension so that the bounce of the bars is uniform, because he has to check all 4.
First gymnast getting prepared from Czechia, Vanessa Masova. There's a qualification score, 13.433. First major final for this gymnast. She'll be wanting to soak up as much of this experience as possible.
She has to wait for the green light to come on. Well, I think the judges are saying you've got 1 too many mats on the podium.
Well, if she lands on that one, is taken off, she's in trouble, Christine, because that's miles from the bars. And out the first gymnast onto the uneven bars, representing Czechia, Vanessa Masova.
Super handstand. Oh, a little split of the leg on the stall de fall and on the Shap half turn, but she swings beautifully. Lovely straight arms, lovely extension. Very high Jaeger somersault. She takes the... Oh, and she got the connection. The Pax Salto immediate. Shoot back up to the high bar. Here comes this original dismount. Well, not original, but one we don't see very often. A shoot front in the straight position with a half turn. There were a few little errors early on, but she battled on through and made a clean routine. Swings beautifully.
Yeah, great start, and I absolutely love that dismount. But here we have from the start, the coaches there hovering in are allowed to be around the bars. That's a difficult skill. You've got to have great flexibility. With the stooping, the shouldering, the full turn. Got great extension in the legs. That's a great shot. And look how pointed and stretched the toes are. The straddle front somersault, called the Jaeger. And this is a dismount. It is an unusual dismount. We don't see many. The straight front half turn. Very original.
We quite often see that move done in the tuck position, the shoot front or the pike position, but
rarely the straight.
Rarely straight. She laid it out beautifully.
She's got a great line as well when she swings around the bars and hits the handstands.
Yeah, very smooth. I actually think she's a gymnast with a lot of potential, just 16 years of age, and so this will be her first senior year in competition. You have to be 16 in the year of competition to compete as a senior. And,
well, not bad. Is it the first year as a senior into a European bar final?
So, Masova scores a 13.5.
5.7 difficulty, quite a good difficulty score.
Zoya Sekai is next to go, Hungary. Sekai's got a silver medal at the Europeans 5 years ago. 22 years old now.
She also posted a high start score, a 6. Lovely stoop in and out with a full pirouette. Immediate shap up to the high bar and back down to the low bar. 2 very difficult elements, and now back up from the stall direction this time into the Ginger Salto. A little bit piked on the float after the Ginger, but that was a super half turn and a lovely high piked Jaeger somersault. Swing turn, that's a bit empty, but immediately into the full turning pirouette. Oh, what a shame. And straight into the full turning double back. That was such a lot of work in that routine.
Yeah, it's one of the most difficult routines in the final, that one. So such a shame with that dismount. That'll be costly with those steps to the side.
It was a shame because the routine, it was great construction. She's very neat in the transitions. She's got great flexibility. Look, legs together, just a little flicker there. This is a very difficult skill. Between the bars, the Ginger somersault, actually named after the great Eberhard Ginger from Germany. And she had some really good handstands. It's just a shame she did all that work, got to the end of the routine.
She did a pirouette just before the dismount, which gives her a bonus if you pirouette before you dismount. But she was very late with the pirouette and a little bit bent-armed on that. And I think, here we go, I think this might be the pirouette. And her hand was on really quite late, and that would probably have unsettled that dismount a little bit. But she looked like she'd landed reasonably and just sort of lost tension in the legs, didn't she?
Yeah, well, she was very central on the mat. And this is what comes with competition and experience of going, I just need to keep pressure in my legs. The number of gymnasts I've seen get to a dismount and automatically switch off. You've done the hardest bit. There's that sigh of relief. And then you just relax a little bit too much on the dismount.
13.2, what a shame for Zoya Sekai.
6 on difficulty, you're right.
Yeah,
A very big
difficult
routine, Matt.
Yeah. Sofia Tonelli of Italy next to go. 9th in the all-round competition. She's also got a beam final, and she's replacing Helen Kevrich.
There we go, full pirouette into the Shap, and good Kachev. That was what she missed in the last competition. And now a toe Kachev. Lovely full stretch, immediately into the pack salto down to the low bar. And then back up to the high bar again. The swing half turn, up she goes. This is a well-constructed routine.
Hitting the handstands.
Very nicely. Here we come for the double front. Oh, but that was a deep landing as well. I think she just kept her hips off the floor, but it will be a bit of a deduction there.
Italians have really made this piece of apparatus their own, haven't they? And like you said, Christine, it's about constructing your routine carefully. Lovely toe on into the straddle Kachev, immediately down to the low bar. That's the pack salto. Now some gymnasts will transfer straight back up. She takes an upstart.
Well, she qualified with a 5.9 difficulty, and then in the all-round was given a 5.7.
She fell on the first Kachev in the all-around competition, and really didn't settle again. But this time she got through cleanly. I was quite surprised, actually. That was a little bit untidy, wasn't it, with the feet at the back? But I was quite surprised that she landed so deeply.
It was a bit, we see a few of these dismounts, the double front somersault, just pulling in a bit close to the bar. It's very neat in the air. Often we see the gymnasts separate their legs. And you're right. Again, maybe just that little lack of concentration. Keep the tension in the legs. I mean, a good routine, but I don't think it'd be good enough to go into first. We shall see.
13.3 is enough for second at the moment. So Mashova leads on 13.5 from Czechia.
Well, we haven't seen an execution score into the 8s yet, so the judges are quite harsh on their deductions.
Vicious, Christine, I would say. Vicious with the deductions.
One of the superstars of the European Championships here, Manila Esposito, 18 gold in the all-round.
Oh,
dear me.
And that is her big skill. She went for absolute height and didn't quite have enough length. She got her hands on, but they were bent in half, her elbows, and she could not convert that. Here we are, look. She did, yeah, very well.
Yeah.
She nearly ended up in front support on the top bar.
Well, she's done well to regain her composure and carry on here.
Yes, Shap there into the full turning pack, and she does that very nicely indeed. Then the Shap half. She works with the apparatus so well. You can see her move the bar down, the full pirouette that you have to include. The invert swing, here comes the invert. Into the big double front dismount, just a little bit of a cowboy. Well, she continued well, but it won't be a medal on this piece today.
What a shame.
Actually, that's the first mistake she's made of the championships. And actually, we were talking the other day about how confident she was looking in competition, and it wasn't a case of getting through. But that is a hugely difficult skill, Christine, isn't it?
Yes, it's a real big skill, and it's new, this quad for her. I don't think she competed it at the Olympics, but look at that full turning pack.
That is a beautiful skill. And look at there, the body tension, legs locked together, toes pointed. And actually, this dismount's one of the few double fronts where I've not winced about how close they've got to the bar. Very well controlled, because it is that blind landing. You have to kick out at the right time.
So she won't have got the credit for the element. She won't get the value of the element, and she'll lose a mark as well. So that probably will have cost her 1.5 marks, that mistake. She'll be very happy that she didn't make that error in the all-around yesterday.
Absolutely. And she's still smiling, so that's good.
So Mashova has the golden score of 13.5. Sofia Tonelli from Italy, 13.3. And Zoya Sekai of Hungary currently in the bronze medal position with a score of 13.2. That one will definitely not challenge from Esposito due to that nasty fall. It's a 12.233. So the first 4 have been, and now there'll be a little warm-up for the second half, in which there'll actually be 5 competitors in. And the last gymnast to go in this final will be Naomi Wissa. You can see at the chalk bin at the side there, and she's certainly in with a shout of a medal as well, looking at these scores.
Yeah, we've got 2 really good bar workers to come. I'm sure the medal table will change as we progress through the second half of this bars final.
How much can you adjust the bars, Chris?
Well, you can put them in and out. Not many gymnasts do. There's a maximum width you're allowed to have them. So you can't have them just so wide that you don't have to make any shape change. And they won't go any wider than what you're allowed. But actually, if you're too tall, if you hit the mat as you swing, you're allowed to have them put up 1 or 2 notches. And in fact, one of the GB team, Ruby Stacey, has to have hers put up. So, which is quite difficult during a team competition, because they have to be put up and down for the team. And what you are allowed is to adjust the tension so that the wires can be tighter or looser. And even within a team, you quite often have people wanting quite a different tension on the bars. So it's quite, you're quite busy as a coach or a pair of coaches, making sure the mats are right, making sure the height's right, making sure the tension's right as well. So you can do quite a little bit of adjusting.
Adjustment, yeah.
Yeah.
There's Naomi Vissa, who's definitely one to watch and one to wait for.
Yeah. Recently, there's a tension gauge being put on the actual wires that you use. At one time, you would see the coaches putting on a gizmo that tells you the tension, but that's been taken away. And now there is a maximum tension you're allowed to have, so that you can't wind them in so tight that they might pull the cables out of the floor. So the gymnasts are having to modify how tightly they're allowed to have the bars.
So Maisa Kuusikko of Finland continues this Women's European Bars final. She's the 4th highest qualifier, and she's scored 13.7 in qualification, 13.633 in the all-around competition. But this is one of the most difficult routines in the final.
So the Shap this time from a clear circle, and very nicely. Oh, and she's got all those combinations. Look, she hasn't taken any extra swings yet. This is her first extra upstart handstand. She's really put the difficulty together. You have to do a full pirouette. That she did on the low bar, and just a tiny bit late. But she's been very efficient here. She winds up for a good double straight dismount. That she maximised that routine. Just perhaps at the end she had to take an extra upstart handstand, but she'll be absolutely thrilled with that routine.
Well, this would be some story here, because Finland have never won a medal at the Europeans on bars.
Wowzers. She did well at the start. There was absolutely no free swings, but towards the end, you're right, she took a couple of upstarts. It's not deduction, but obviously every extra skill you take, she would have potential for a deduction.
She would have hoped to get her feet on after that pirouette, and she was just a bit too late, so had to add a little extra move in.
It was packed with difficulty, and I don't know, major deductions, Chris?
Well, I mean, not really too much. She's pretty efficient on this. Little things like the bent arms on the giants.
But nothing major at all, eh?
No, she was...
Little bits here and there throughout the routine. But like you say, for Finland, if they could get their first ever European medal, that would be something.
Well, there's no reason why she shouldn't match her all-around score at the least, and then that would take her into the lead.
What you feeling, Matt? Do you think it will?
Yeah, no reason why not.
She maximised her performance, which none of the other gymnasts have.
There you go, 13.6. She's in the lead for now.
Move over, judges. Matt Baker's in the seat.
Well, I mean, this is big news for Finland, because there are other gymnasts left to come. There are two that I think can really challenge, and looking at the scores, we're looking at Nina Derboel, who is next up, and also Naomi Vissa. So a nervous wait for Kuusikko of Finland. Can she win Finland's first ever medal? But for now, Nina Derboel, Olympic champion from Tokyo, double world champion, double European champion.
Now this is a packed routine. We start with the Tkachev half turn, immediately Shap up to the high bar, and then Pak Salto, again a toe on Shap up. So we haven't had any extra upstart handstands. Here the upstart handstand, that's the first one. Now she makes the Shap half out of that. The full pirouette, which you have to have into the full twisting dismount. Wow, that was a world champion's routine there. Absolutely packed.
It was packed with difficulty as well as beautiful execution. She was awarded a 6.3 for difficulty in qualification. but look at the height.
Well, I think that might be European title number 3 without even seeing the last few gymnasts. I mean, what's great about this routine is the way she links skill to skill. That saves the judges putting the pen to the paper and making deductions. There was a couple of times there when she was on a bit of fingertips, and I thought, oh, that's going to be a bit of a stretch, but I mean, a joy to watch and a great to have her back.
Yeah.
I mean, at 25 years of age, banging out a routine like that.
I mean,
very well constructed.
Judged to perfection, that dismount, wasn't it? It was give enough height, and although it was close, it wasn't too close.
No, she put the full pirouette into the dismount, gives you some bonus points. I mean, really, that's how she builds her difficulty, through linking all those elements together. I think we'll have a new leader.
I think you could be right, Chris, but by how much?
Oh, it's huge. It's 14.466. Nina Derwell goes into the lead.
Only gymnast so far to get into the 8th for execution with a huge 6.3 difficulty.
Ana Barbosu of Romania next to go, 18 years old. Got a bronze in the all-round competition a few days ago. She's also in the beam and the floor final as well.
And here, great half turn. I love the way she does that, but you see she wasn't able to immediately put her feet on and go into the next element. But that was very good, although the pirouette was just a little bit late. Pack salto down to the low bar. Up with a half turn. Swinging very nicely indeed, hitting her handstands. Swinging up into the full twisting double back. Another great routine from Barbosu. She's made big strides here.
She has indeed. I think the difference that separates that in the previous routine was just the extra long swings and skills between. But I mean, it used to be a real Achilles heel, but not anymore.
She's been a big success this championships.
She has. That was the one you picked out a little bit late there on the full turn. And then takes the extra long swing to shuffle along the bars. There, down into the pack salto. Good leg tension. Big stretch on the shap to the high bar. Very difficult. There's not many gymnasts actually, Christine, that swing back from that and can keep the heels and feet together.
No, it's something you have to spend a lot of time rehearsing, especially when you do one of those shaps right in the middle of the routine, or towards the end of the routine. It's called a shap after Shaposhnikova, who was a Soviet gymnast who did it for the first time. And if you look in your code of points, you'll find it described as a Shaposhnikova.
13.766. Barbosu of Romania smiles all round into silver. So there's your top 3.
Well, we have one more gymnast to go, or 2 more gymnasts to go, because there are actually 9 in this final. There was a tie.
Penultimate gymnast for Hungary, Dina Lily Tifra.
Hungary have been very well represented here, and she has lots of energy in those elements. Now that full pirouette was right on top of the bar, immediately into the Kachev and immediately into the toe on and off. Another shap. Oh, that was a very nice combination. Half turn into the double front. Actually, that was a really interesting routine. She used the uprise action in a couple of occasions, and that could be, it's a 5-7 difficulty. That could be challenging a little bit.
Well, 13.6 is currently the bronze for Finland's Kusiko.
Yes,
it was really precise, wasn't it?
It was a 5-7 difficulty in qualification, so if she hit the same, and it looked like she did the planned routine.
Lovely height there, installed it into the Katchev. I think she's one of the few gymnasts actually swung back after the sharp and kept the legs and feet together and hit some really good handstands and finishing with that very difficult double front. Look there, can we see back? One of the only ones with the feet glued together there, Chris.
And look how precise at the finish of the full pirouette.
I'd like to see that go up into third place, actually.
She did very well to get those feet on. And although she just did a toe on and off, it meant she didn't have to do an extra handstand. So Hungary delighted with that performance. We have to wait and see, but it was a well-executed routine.
It was, and great to have two Hungarians in this bars final. It's this nervous wait. Do the judges think it's good enough? Durwell well in the lead with 14.666. Oh, and it's good, 14.1 for Bettina Lilitifra of Hungary.
6-1 difficulty.